Hello everyone, we're here from the art station and my name's Betsy.
I'm Juliana.
I'm Amber.
And Juliana's going to tell us why we're doing.
So we are going to do something today that's going to help due to the quarantine, due to the coronavirus and potential not being able to see clients in session. We're going to, some things that you can do at home in place of that.
And what we're doing today is appropriate for both children and adults. We are going to show you guys some different skills that you can use to practice at home. If you don't know skills, you can definitely comment below and ask us some questions, or if there's some skills that we've shared that you're like, wait, no, I have some other ideas. Please share that with us below as well.
Yes. All right, so we're going to get a piece of paper, and really the materials that you need for this will be white paper, markers, and scissors. Some of you may know how to make this. We're going to make a foldable, and I'm going to first fold my paper so that, you guys, yes, I'm going to fold it so that I'm matching end to end like a triangle here. Doing this just so we have a middle point, yeah. Take, So now I'm going to fold it just to get it so that it's nimble or limber enough. And you are going to put your fingers in underneath the little slot. And 1, 2, see?
That's a big one.
So easy. You could even use this as like a little fish. Little puppets, yes. So yeah. Okay. So now Amber is going to kind of instruct us on how we're going to decorate the outside and all of our inside flaps, because we have 8 inside triangles we're going to write on, and then when you open those up we could also have 8.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what we're going to do is you guys can pick your 4 favorite colors, or you can pick colors that represent maybe 4 emotions that currently are having a really hard time managing. Kind of up to you, what feels most comfortable.
All right, so I'll just pour these out.
Yeah.
Go for the same color.
And you can color in your full square. You can pick a shape to represent maybe what that emotion looks like as a symbol. For simplicity, I will just do some shapes.
I'm glad you said simplicity.
Sometimes,
Because I'm still coloring on my very first one.
I'm just doing colors.
Okay. I like that too. I'm sorry, we keep to go for the same
you and I are on the same page.
Yes.
We have a heart. I like how you did different symbols with yours.
Okay. All right.
All right, and so once we have our colors, we're going to open up our flaps on the inside, and we can just number them 1 through 8.
So you have one number on
Oh.
each triangle.
Right And yes. So it would look like this once we are done. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift open our flaps, and this is where we can write our skills. So if there are skills that you're using currently, please feel free to use those. If there are ones, we can give you a couple examples in this video, and then below we'll create a whole list for you guys to check out some other skills to practice. So one that you might want to use is to practice deep breathing. So if you're feeling anxious or need some grounding.
How do you deep breathe?
That's a great question. So when I do deep breathing, what I like to do is find a comfortable space. So I can use this chair, and I like to put my feet flat on the floor so that I can really feel the ground. You want to make sure that you're comfortable in case you're a person with any back discomfort or anything. And then I personally like to leave my palms faced up on my lap, because if I can feel my legs, I'm going to want to squeeze them or touch them or fidget. So I find going palm up is a really great way to help the body kind of naturally relax. And then I close my eyes and I breathe in, and I count all the way up to 10. So one breath in and then 2 out. So it would look like and if you're noticing that you're having a hard time taking those deep breaths, I like to give myself a 4 count. So I will breathe in for 4. So if you guys would like to practice that, and I can count for you. Okay. So we're gonna breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you can, hold for a few seconds. And we're gonna breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can breathe in for 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can do that all the way up to 10. As a way to kind of make sure that you're getting as deep of breaths as you can. And if you're having a hard time getting those deep breaths, just make the goal to breathe a little bit deeper than you currently are. It doesn't have to be the full 4.
Do you like to breathe in through your nose?
I do, and then I like to breathe out through my mouth.
Okay, yeah.
I find that
seems to calm me when I do that. Yeah.
Get that rhythm going.
Good one. All right.
So another skill that we can do is we can do some journaling. So that can be if you have a notebook that you like to use and want to write down your feelings or your thoughts, feel free to use that. Another kind of technique to use would be to write down how you're feeling, and if you want to tear it up or throw it away as a way to get rid of those feelings, I can recommend that as well. Kind of what's going to really work for you guys.
That's awesome.
Yes. Another one we can do is turning lemons into lemonade. And so what that means is trying to find maybe a positive. So you're stuck at home and you're feeling anxious or agitated, maybe looking for what is that silver lining? What is that positive at the moment? And if you're having a hard time finding that positive, the next skill we can use is just radical acceptance. Maybe accepting where we're at right now, for what it is, and then trying to move forward. Radical acceptance can be pretty hard, but sometimes once we can accept those emotions, it's a little bit easier to kind of move forward just in our day.
That's a good one.
Another skill we can do is noticing, practicing mindfulness with our 5 senses. So what that means is we're going to use our 5 senses, so taste if we can, smell, sight, touch, and hearing. And we're just going to check in with our space. So that could be, what do I hear around me? So right now I hear everyone writing with the markers. I smell Sharpies. I notice that it's really bright because it's kind of cloudy out. I can't taste anything right now. That's okay. But if you want to go grab something that is kind of comforting or calming as far as tastes go, feel free to do that since you're home already. And or even for smell, if there's a smell that you find very soothing and relaxing, I encourage you guys to find that thing and take a second and just enjoy that moment. And I feel like I'm hearing too, right? We did that. So even music you can do. I feel like I missed a sense. Touch, yeah. So if you guys have certain fabrics that you really find comforting or relaxing, or maybe you don't know, I encourage you guys, since you're home already, to take that time and maybe figure out what is actually comforting to you. Or you could just check in, like, I feel this table, my feet are on the ground, I feel that, and kind of ground that way as well. So
That sounds really good.
yeah.
Right.
Another one we could do is challenging our thoughts. So what that means is, if you are having a hard time, maybe you're concerned about what's going on outside, maybe you're worried you're sneezing too much, and maybe that could mean something more serious. Challenging our thoughts are a good way to check in with what is actually in front of us. What are the facts and what's the evidence? And by doing that, that could be a really helpful way to kind of reduce our anxiety. So some ways that we can challenge thoughts is, what can I see in front of me? What do I actually know? And just figuring out, what do I know versus what do I think is going to happen? And really kind of honing in and focusing on, well, this is what I know now, and going back to that acceptance. So that's where I'm at right now.
And like, kind of like, what can I actually do about it?
Yeah.
Or what can I not do?
It's very true.
Yeah. What is in my control? What isn't?
Yes, making a, and that could be another skill of also just realizing too, making a list of things that really either calm you, bring you happiness, and kind of just having a checklist to go by every day. Like, what can I do that I know brings those positive emotions that I need to feel?
So make checklists.
Because when we're engaging in activities that kind of cultivate those positive emotions, even if we're stuck at home or we're worried for that moment, we're being reminded that there are really great things still going on. Because I think it's really important right now to remind everyone that all of our emotions are temporary and that they come and they go. And I know sometimes it feels like they're sticking with us, but I do want to remind everyone that if we can kind of shift what we're doing or remind ourselves of the positive things that we do have, you're going to notice those emotions shifting a little bit more.
Yeah.
What could kind of go with that a little bit too is find things that you might be grateful for. Just focus on those things.
I love that. Let's add that to the skills. So some gratitude, or even if gratitude is, you're finding it hard to find things to be grateful for, even a positive affirmation. So I encourage you guys with the gratitude, maybe find at least one, but maybe 1 to 3 things you're grateful for, and just kind of practice that throughout the day, or at the beginning or end of the day. I would say use it as much as feels necessary. And I know not everyone is into gratitude, so if gratitude doesn't seem in your wheelhouse, I encourage you guys to maybe find a positive affirmation of, I am safe, I'm doing everything I can. Something very simple, factual, that your brain's not going to challenge and say, no, that's not it. And say that as much as you need to as you're going through your day, and our times where we're kind of stuck at home. And a lot of these are pretty, I would say, applicable for both kids and adults. If you have kids at home, you might need to do a little bit of encouraging and kind of guiding them through it. But these are at least 8, technically 9 different skills that you can do at home without any art materials, but just kind of your body and your family.
Okay, so Amber, I noticed that you put all of your your techniques down here.
Oh.
Is that because the numbers go inside? Or here's can we maybe show everybody how we would use it? Because I think you could use it so many different ways. Like,
So like for mine, if I wanted to pick red, I'm going to spell it.
could you write it? Yeah, you can spell it.
R-E-D, and then I'm going to pick number 3. So I'm going to lift that up.
Or would you go, then you would do 1, 2, 3, right?
Oh, that's
Yes, we could do that.
1, 2, 3.
And then pick a number.
I'm going to pick 4 then. And my skill is radical acceptance.
Yeah.
What I like about that though is you also get another one. So you could also approach it if you tried the one you picked and you're like, that's not really working for me, then maybe try the one next to it and see how that goes.
That's
Give yourself some
perfect.
options.
You could do a lot with this. You could spell your color, but you could also give somebody, what's 2 plus 4, or 6, 1, 2, 3, or whatever.
You could
do
spell your
some
numbers
math.
too.
Since we're out of school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
And since there's extra little space there, you could always draw something that represents that skill if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, who wants to do mine? Do you want to do mine?
Oh,
Like
like
practice?
the star or blue.
Okay,
Blue.
so
We'll do blue.
you want to spell it?
BLUE.
Okay.
Two.
2, 1, 2.
And 8.
Okay, 8 is.
Challenging our thoughts.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So hopefully you guys will get some enjoyment out of this and find ways to help cope with any kind of anxiety or just to keep your mind busy through this time.
Thank you.
Thank